Hi crafty friends. It has been a while since I have made a video. It's actually been a while since I've done any type of craft project as well. My time has been spent more recently on the renovation going on in my basement in my workshop where I run my business, so I haven't really focused much on crafting. I do have a set of tools, different things that I'm going to show you that are going to be the next release for my craft icon series. So I hope you will stay tuned and watch these new tools and see how they work. The first tool I have is an acrylic envelope template, and I have two sizes on here. So the outer size is actually for an A2 card, and it will be actually larger than the A2 card. So it'll be 6 inches by 4 3/8 when the envelope is done, and the A2 card is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then this inner side is going to be sized for a 3x4 journaling card. So I'm going to show you how to use this template, and then I'll show you some examples as well. A couple ways to use the template. So you can take your paper and you will line up two of the edges. So I'm lining up this right edge and the bottom edge here. And once I have it in place, if you don't feel comfortable holding this down while you do this next step, you can use washi tape to hold this in place. I'm going to trace my outer line first, and I can do this one of two ways. I can use a pencil and I can just come in here and trace right around my template. We want to make sure to get the little cutout here and here. And then I can take this off and I can either put this in my paper trimmer to cut these straight and then cut out my little 4 pieces, or I can use my scissors and do this. Or you can put your template on here where I had it before, line everything up, and use a craft knife, and then run this craft knife right along these edges. So you would just slice right down these sides and then into those 4 corners. So either way, whichever one is easier for you. Now, if you're doing the inside, you can line it up like this, but you're going to have all that excess. Or you can take this edge and you can line up the inside edge with your paper here, and then you would trace those lines. Now this one here, I'm not going to actually cut this. I'm going to cut the purple larger one. So I drew those lines, but this is the piece that came out of the center. So you'll have a piece that looks like this. It won't have those score lines yet. We'll come back to that next. Once I have my envelope cut out, I'm going to go ahead and score with my scoring tool. And I'm going to be scoring from one point to the next to create my envelope. You can do this a couple of ways. If you don't have a scoring board, you can just line up a ruler and run your scoring tool down the edge of your ruler. I use my scoring board and I took a marker and just made sure to blacken one of the lines. I did it at 6 inches so that it was easier, so that I had a lot of room on each side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this little edge here of the paper with that line, and this little edge here of the paper with that line. And I'm going to make sure that I line it up consistently so that it's not, so I can line this one up with that edge and this one up with this edge, and I don't want that, it's not going to be even. So whichever one you use, just make sure that you do line it up consistently on the top and bottom. Once you have that lined up, go ahead and score. And then you're going to do the same thing on all of these sides here, just lining up and scoring. Lining up those edges and then scoring. And one more time, lining up those edges and scoring. Once I have those edges scored, I'm going to flip over and fold on the opposite side. Got my bone folder to burnish my folds. So I've got my sides. This one with the piece cut makes the bottom flap. And then here we have our top flap. Now the top flap does have a pointed edge here. You could put this in a corner rounder, and you can round that corner if you want to make it a little bit smoother if you choose to do so. But if you like the pointed look, you don't have to do that. So it's whatever you prefer. So now I have my A2 size envelope. This is 6 inches by 4 3/8. So I have a card here. I just pulled one that was in my stash, and if this was glued together, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It would fit perfectly in my envelope. Now this one does have some dimension on it as well. So it's nice that the envelope is actually 6 inches, even though my card is 5 inches. So I've got plenty of room over here. But what it does also is it allows it to expand a little bit, and my card fits in there really well. Now this envelope here, let me get you the A2 size. This is a store-bought A2 size envelope. It's actually a little bit different in size. So the store-bought one is 5 3/4, and it is, I think, 4 5/8. So it's 4 5/8. So it is a little bit larger. It gives you a little bit more room this direction, less room this way. But so again, they both fit A2 size cards, but they're a little tiny bit different. And then I have a We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. This is what I made this envelope with. It's an A2 size, and it's actually a completely different size than the store-bought one as well. So it is 5 3/4, but it's actually 4 3/4. So there's going to be a little bit of variation in envelope sizes just based on the company and who's making them. So it doesn't have to be exact. But if you want something that's exactly the same as store-bought, like this one, then this template is a little bit different, just to let you know. But it will fit that A2 size card, just like these two ones will. Once you are finished with your piece, all you have to do is go ahead and apply adhesive here and here and fold this up, and then you have your envelope. Something else you can do though, let's say you want to make more of like a policy envelope style. You would fold this direction, and you could actually trim this piece. So you would mark it where the center is here and here, cut down this line. Then this would be perfectly in the center where that point is, so everything would line up nice and pretty. You could again round that corner if you wanted to and have it like a policy style envelope. Now this is the smaller size, same thing. I've just scored all of those lines, fold in and here. And then this one is 4 3/8 by, looks like between 3 1/8 and 3 1/4. So if I had a 3 inch by 4 inch journaling card, it would fit down in here. So if you like to put things in junk journals or mini albums, or if you'd like to send little cards, like little thank you notes would be good with this, you could use this to create that little smaller envelope. Both of these, again, they both come from that same template here. So 2 envelope sizes in that template. Okay, now let's talk rulers. This is the one that I've already released. This one has been selling really well. It is a double-sided ruler, so we've got the centering ruler on one side, the 12-inch ruler on the other side, customizable where you can put your name on it if you choose to do so. I just released this one with my retreat. I made these little 6-inch centering rulers. So centering ruler on one side, regular 6-inch ruler on the other side. Again, completely personalizable if you choose to do so. So these ones are available already for sale on my website if you want to purchase those. But I did go ahead and make another ruler. This one here, it is a centering ruler on one side, and it has the black lines. If you have watched my other videos and seen these, I just colored these in on the back side actually with a dry erase marker. That way if the lines start to wear off, you just remark them and this ruler will last you forever. Now, the reason that you cannot see the lines on the other side is that they are actually white. That way they will show up if you're using dark colored cardstock. See if they'll show up on my purple. So they do. But the idea here is that if you're using a ruler with black lines on black cardstock or navy blue cardstock or even a really dark purple, it is difficult to see. So if I have white lines, it's a centering ruler again. I only use centering rulers. I don't tend to use a 12-inch ruler, so that's why I have this as a centering ruler. But this, again, allows you to see those lines. So you can switch this ruler depending on the color of your paper. It's the same exact ruler, so it's that center ruler on both sides to make it easy for you to use whichever one is easier for you to see. So I'd love to know what you think. Do you think that this would be a valuable tool for you to use? And is this something that you would like to see also in a smaller version? This next set of tools is going to be another set of matting tools. I've got 3 of them here. They're all circles. I did the spacer matting tools for the squares and rectangles, but I know circles are very popular in scrapbooking layouts as well. So I have one that has a 4-inch circle, a 3-inch circle, and a 2-inch circle, because that tends to be, I think, usually pretty common sizes in scrapbooking. For me personally, I know I like the 4-inch and the 3-inch. So what this is this is the size of your photo. Then you can mat with 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, or 1/2 of an inch. And that's the same on all of these. I'm going to show you how this would work with the 3-inch one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my 1/4 inch layout, and I'm taking my little acrylic tool and I'm looking at that 1/4 inch circular line, and I'm lining it up around the edge of my white photo mat. Then with my photo, all I have to do is place it in here, and it will be perfectly matted with a 1/4 inch all the way around. Let's say I wanted this in a larger size. So here I've got my 1/2 inch, and I've got my photo, and I'm going to place it right here in the center of this. And now I've got my larger, if I can pick it up, I've got my larger photo mat there. If I wanted to double up these mats here so that I had a double mat, I wouldn't necessarily be able to do that with this. I have them up to 5 inches, going down to this inner circle is 1 inch, so it could be 1 inch all the way up. I've got my 4 sets here that I'm going to show you. So I used my pieces here. Let me just pull these out. If I wanted to double mat this, this is my 4-inch circle. So I'm going to start with my 4-inch mat, or my 4-inch matting spacer, and I'm going to use my 3 3/4 because I'm making these a 1/4 of an inch mat. So then I have my piece here that goes right down in there. So now it's perfectly spaced because this circle is perfectly around that first one. So now it's in the center. Then, so this is my 3.5 inch piece, the white. I'm going to take my 3.5 inch spacer and my 3 1/4 inch spacer, and then I'm going to put my photo in here. So with those, now I have these perfectly matted to where I've got that nice spacing. And the nice thing about this is I can make these as thin as my 1/4 inch if I wanted it to be, or 1/8 of an inch if I wanted it to be 1/8 of an inch, or I can make it, quite large depending on the size that I want. You just have to keep layering them. So I think this system would probably be a little bit more useful, but if you just prefer the single layer mats, then these ones might be a little bit easier too because they've got those guides to see. I will be listing both of these sets depending on what you would like, so you can pick whichever ones. So these will all be nested inside of each other here, just like this. So again, they go all the way up to 5 inches. That way you can do like a 4-inch photo. So that is all of the new tools that I'm introducing for today. I am going to be considering some additional shapes for the matting tools. I know I want to make a set of hexagon shapes. Other than that, if you have any ideas, stars maybe, I haven't decided yet. So if you've got some ideas, go ahead and leave me some of those ideas in the comments. The rulers are available on my website already. I will be adding this envelope template before this video actually airs, as well as these. So everything that you see here will be listed and available for you to purchase. As always, thank you for watching and happy crafting.